It's a game.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest scenes in Saw.
No, it's not creepy at all.
For this list, we'll be looking at the moments in this long-running horror franchise that made us scream the most. Keep in mind, there will be spoilers. Are there any scenes we missed? Let us know down in the comments. Number 10, Glass Coffin, Saw 5. The movie opens with Agent Strom inexplicably surviving a trap not meant to be beaten. So the last thing we'd expect is our main protagonist to bite it by the film's conclusion. Oh, how wrong we are.
Hello, Agent Strom. If you are hearing this, then you have once again found what you are looking for. Or so you think.
At this point, Strom has correctly deduced that Detective Hoffman is acting as the new Jigsaw. He follows Hoffman to the nerve gas house, where he eventually finds a coffin filled with glass shards and a tape instructing him to climb inside.
The only way to survive this room is by entering the glass box before you. Pain will be incurred, but you have a chance of survival.
Strom and Hoffman have a brief struggle, which ends with the former trapping the latter in the coffin. But as Strom soon learns, the coffin is the only safe place when the walls start closing in.
I ask you, Special Agent Strom, have you learned enough to trust me?
Strom is crushed, making us wince in horror. Number 9, Xavier's Rampage, Saw 2.
Open the door, come on! What do we do?
Xavier Chavez may be a victim in Jigsaw's sadistic game, but he's nothing short of unfeeling. He constantly antagonizes the other players and will step on anyone to find an antidote to the nerve gas. Upon realizing the code to the safe is partially written on the backs of everyone's necks, Xavier is more interested in doing it himself than working as a team.
Now, turn around. What? Turn around.
He mercilessly executes Jonas after an altercation, and coldly leaves Addison to die when she's stuck in a trap. Going full horror movie villain, Xavier pursues Amanda and Daniel into the bowels of the house.
All I want is the number in the back of his neck.
You still don't know your own number. How are you gonna get it if I don't tell you?
Realizing he can't read his own number, Xavier needlessly slices it off from the back of his neck before Daniel quits playing possum and ends him. Number 8, Shotgun Carousel, Saw 6.
6, ride the carousel. But only 2 can get off.
The conceit of this trap is simple. 6 people are strapped to a rotating carousel, and an outside observer can endure pain and save 2 from a shotgun. But which 2 do you pick?
2 can live, 4 will die. Your decisions symbolized by the blood on your hands.
William comes across 6 of his employees strapped to the device. Once the rules are read aloud, the victims can do nothing but make their cases and hope William's impossible choices go in their favor. The fact that 2/3 are doomed no matter what makes this an especially hair-raising trap. And while banal, a point-blank shotgun blast to the chest is still a brutal way to go. Ultimately, Emily and Shelby are able to convince William of their importance to their families, while the others are deemed more expendable.
Look at me! When you're killing me, you look at me!
Number 7, Jigsaw's Lair, Saw. While the franchise formula is well established today, we had no idea what to expect going into the first film. So when detectives Tap and Sing track down Jigsaw's Lair, anything goes.
Awake already, Jeff. I need more powerful tranquilizers next time. Don't cry. I've given your life a purpose.
The hideout already oozes creep factor, but things ratchet up to 11 when a prospective victim is discovered and Jigsaw arrives back on the scene.
Now you'll make a choice. In 20 seconds, the life of this man will be ended.
Shut up and get down here! What'd you do? Turn it off!
Jigsaw activates a drill trap, forcing Sing to shoot in lieu of cycling through an endless ring of keys. But Jigsaw escapes when he takes a blade to a distracted Tap's throat.
Sick from the disease eating away at me inside. Sick of people who don't appreciate their blessings. Sick of those who scoff at the suffering of others. I'm sick of it all.
Tap's injury is non-lethal, but Singh isn't so lucky when he pursues Jigsaw down a hallway and sets off a string of shotguns. For a dying man, Jigsaw is surprisingly elusive. Number 6. Angel Trap, Saw 3.
Hello, Carrie. I want to play a game.
The cops going after Jigsaw often get unfairly punished merely for doing their jobs. But arguably, no one gets the shorter end of the stick than Detective Allison Carey. Already at the end of her rope, Carey is kidnapped in her home and placed in a trap by Jigsaw accomplice Amanda Young, who doesn't exactly play fair.
You will have 1 minute to find a way out. At the end of that minute, you should know better than anyone what happens then.
Carrie's ribcage is hooked up to a series of brackets that will tear her open if she doesn't retrieve a key.
Make your choice.
The key sits at the bottom of a jar of acid, forcing Carrie to scald her hand in the process. However, the key doesn't free her as advertised, forcing her to accept her fate as the victim of an unwinnable game. Number 5. Zep's Home Invasion, Saw.
Mommy,
What is it, sweetie?
there's a man in my room.
Hospital orderly Zep Hindle already has a reputation for being a little off, but he goes full-on psycho when he infiltrates the home of Dr. Lawrence Gordon and terrorizes his family.
Good night, little girl.
Granted, we don't know Zep is merely another victim in Jigsaw's game at this point, but that doesn't stop him from embracing his role and employing a handful of cruel intimidation tactics.
Dr. Gordon's time is up. Now I've got to do what I've got to do, and I'm afraid it has to be you that tells him he failed.
Gordon's wife and daughter are repeatedly traumatized over the course of the film, but thankfully Allison is able to surreptitiously free herself and take control of the situation long enough for Detective Tapp to arrive on the scene. Zep may not be the actual antagonist of the film, but he proves more than terrifying. Number 4. The Rack, Saw 3.
Hello, Jeff. If you are listening to this, that means that the confrontation you so long dreamed of is finally unfolding.
Easily one of the most iconic traps in the series, the Rack is also notable for being one of the most brutal. It sees medical student Timothy Young strapped to a device that will gradually twist each of his limbs past their breaking point before finishing off with his neck. Timothy is entirely at the mercy of Jeff Denlin, a man whose son Timothy killed in a drunk driving accident. Jeff is too emotionally bereft to do anything, forcing us to watch as Timothy's arms and legs are distorted. When finally Jeff does act, he inadvertently kills another victim and is too late to save Timothy. It's easily one of the darkest moments and arguably the franchise's darkest movie. Number 3. Adam's Abduction, Saw. Jigsaw doesn't generally kill his victims directly, so the frights don't often come in a conventional manner, but the various abduction scenes are almost always terrifying. A couple others that come to mind are Officer Daniel Riggs from Saw 4. Then there's Dr. Gordon's from the first film. If there's any single abduction that gave us all nightmares, though, it was the one of photographer Adam Stanheidt. When Adam wakes up in his apartment, he sees all the lights are out and upon hearing a strange noise, realizes there's an intruder. He has to rely on the flash from his camera to periodically see, but by the time he gets a glimpse of old Pig Mask, it's too late. Number 2. Reverse Bear Trap, Various.
Hello, Amanda. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
This trap is easily the franchise's quintessential torture tool, and whenever it appears, you can be sure it'll invoke a few thrills.
You better hurry up. Live or die. Make your choice.
Its first appearance comes in the original film as Jigsaw's future protege, Amanda Young, is forced to find a key in a man's stomach to prevent the device from rearranging her face. While Amanda is able to evade the literal jaws of death, that doesn't make the scene any less effective. Nor does it with Mark Hoffman in Saw 6, as he survives Jill's attempt on his life by the skin of his cheek. Hoffman repays the favor in the subsequent film, becoming the one-man army to capture Jill. And this time, we see the realization of the trap in all its gory glory.
Game over.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Jigsaw Revealed. Saw. Saw was destined to become an institution in the horror genre no matter what. But it's unclear if the first film would have reached that legendary status without that gobsmacker of a twist ending.
What? No! Oh my God! Lawrence!
After Gordon amputates his foot and Adam kills Zep, it seems like things might end on an optimistic note as Gordon crawls away to find help. But everything changes when the supposed body in the middle of the room begins to rise. It turns out that the player's supposedly deceased cellmate is actually Jigsaw.
He's a very interesting person. His name is John.
He has an inoperable frontal lobe tumor.
Before Adam can even process what's going on, Jigsaw shambles over to the exit and shuts the door, leaving Adam screaming, and us along with him.
Game over.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.